Welcome back to the Red Dice Diaries. I'm your host John, and it's nearly RPGaDay 2025. In fact, it's kicking off tomorrow. Now, I know it's been a hot minute since I've put out an episode on the podcast, but I figured that RPGaDay could be just a thing to spur me into getting back into the saddle. In fact, me and my lovely wife Hannah, who unfortunately is not here at the moment, have already started pre-recording a load of our episodes. So if you're not familiar with it, you might be thinking, well, what is RPGaDay 2025? Well, that's what I'm going to do in this RPGaDay Eve episode. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what it is and how you can get involved if you want. And I'll get to that after the music. Okay, so what is RPGaDay? Well, RPGaDay effectively is a way of using prompts to get people to post some positive stuff about this great hobby of ours. It was launched in August 2014 by David F. Chapman. You might know him better as Autocratic, and I'll put a link to his blog down in the description of this episode. And originally it was a series of questions or prompts that people would answer throughout the month to, like I say, just put videos and episodes out there, putting some positive energy into the hobby, because let's face it, it's easy to be negative and sort of down on yourselves and the hobby. So I certainly remember when I first came across it, I was like, oh, do you know what, it's nice to see all my favourite podcasters, my favourite YouTubers, etc. putting out these episodes. Now, later on, the man with the world's smoothest voice, at least in RPGs, Anthony Boyd, aka Runeslinger, has been sort of co-hosting with David for a number of years and really doing a great job of publicising the event and getting everyone really fired up for it. So, like I say, it's been about 11-12 years since it first started. Maths was never really my strong point, and originally when it started, the prompts were a series of questions, whereas over time they've gradually changed to become more sort of like one-word prompts. They're supposed to be like those sort of random tables of words you get in things like the Tome of Adventure Design, you know, where you pick a word and you go with whatever idea that sparks in your head. And personally, I like this a lot better because it feels a lot less restrictive. You're getting a lot less episodes that are all identical, and people are free to generally go wild as long as they're sort of putting something out there that's positive about the hobby. So, how can you get involved in RPGaDay 2025, and are there any restrictions? Well, basically, no, not really. If you've got social media, a podcast, a YouTube channel, a blog, whatever, the idea is that you take the graphic that has the prompts on them, and again, I'll put a link to that down in the description of this episode, as well as the plain text versions of the prompts. And then the idea is that each day throughout the month of August, you put out a post, a podcast episode, a YouTube episode, a post on your social media, whatever, that basically takes inspiration from that prompt and talks about something that you love or that you're positive about in the hobby. And that's pretty much it, really. There's no restrictions. If you give it a go and you don't make the whole month, as I've done on a few years on previous occasions, it doesn't matter, does it? Whatever you put out there is more than you would have put out there if you'd not tried it at all. So I would urge anyone who loves this great hobby of ours to at least give it a go. If you don't feel that you can put out an episode each day, don't worry about it. Some people do it on a weekly basis and do a big block of them. Some people just put out the whole lot at the end of the month. Just do what suits you. The idea is not to restrict people. It's not to lock people down or make them feel ashamed because they haven't been able to complete it. The idea is just to spur a lot of positive conversation and putting great stuff out there for the hobby. You don't have to do massive sort of magnum opuses where you do hours long episodes. In fact, I think the longest episode that I'm sort of recording at the moment has been about 10-12 minutes, and that's with both me and my lovely wife Hannah talking about it. But as I said, I'm using it as a spur to try and get me back in the saddle. I've been struggling with my motivation to do the podcast and the YouTube episodes, etc., mainly because of work and life changes and stuff like that. But I'm hoping that RPGaDay, being the great positive force it is for our role-playing hobby can be that final kick up the backside that I need to actually get back in the saddle again. And who knows, if you get involved yourself, you might find that it spurs you on to do some other stuff within that arena yourself. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't, you've put some good episodes and blog posts, social media posts, whatever, out there for other people to enjoy and to generate discussion. And speaking of generating discussion, as we're putting out the episodes throughout the month of August, I'm going to actually be away for this coming weekend, so that's why I'll be recording some in advance. If you want to engage with us on the podcast and talk about anything we've posted or talk about your own RPGaDay experiences, you can leave us a voicemail message using SpeakPipe, and there'll be a link down in the description of this show where you can do that. I would also recommend you check out both Mr. Smooth Voice himself, Runeslinger's blog, Runeslinger Casting Shadows, link down below. Likewise, David's Autocratic blog, again, link down below. And hopefully I'll get to read some of your great posts and listen to some of your episodes during the month of August. So that's all I've really got to say. Really looking forward to RPGaDay. Me and Hannah have been having a real blast recording the episodes so far, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So until I speak to you again, take care. Whatever game you're playing, whatever you're doing out there, I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoy yourself. Take care. Could be just a thing to spur me back into getting into the